Hi, welcome back to VK Online Education Training course. The theme of this lesson is while loop timer. We introduced the characteristics of while loop in the last lesson. Now, we want to use the same monitoring event and make a timer for it. We'll create a countdown timer for this monitor event. First, we prepare these components on our page. Prepare two text labels first on the top and bottom. The first text label is used to display the countdown timer, or how much time we still have. The label below is used to display timeout message when the time is up. Then, prepare three buttons here to set the timer: 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and 10 seconds button. The other two buttons below it are used to control the start and stop of the timer. We said in earlier lesson that while loop will continue to execute endlessly. So, we have to prepare another mechanism to control when it will start and stop. Next, let's create a variable. This variable is used to show the time. We create this variable, and name it time. And then, we create the range of value between 0 to 1000 seconds. In order for it to be displayed, we must synchronize it with text label. The next thing we have to do is to control the timer switch. We can use a flag to achieve this. Here, we created a flag named switch. Because it is used to control switch, we can just set it to on, or off. In other words, the timer will start when it is set to on, and stop when it is set to off. So, the default value will be off. And then we press OK. Now, let's visit while loop function again. I create a while loop monitoring event called timer here. I set the query frequency to 1 second, because we are counting down time every second. The next thing we have to do is when the flag switch is on, it will start to decrease the time variable by 1 every second. So, I use the condition flag if to make this work. The if condition inside of it will trigger when the flag is on. Then, let's make the variable to be decreased each second, using setVariable function. Drag this time variable into the range of if conditional function. What we have to do is to decrease it by 1 every second. This completes our while loop monitoring setting. To summarize, this while loop will be executed every 1 second. And, when the switch flag state is on, it will reduce the time variable by 1 every second. And, if the flag is turned off, it will stop reducing the value, which means it will stop the timer. Next, let's complete the settings on our page. Here, we want to set the button that can increase the value of the timer when it's pressed. We'll use setVariable function for this. The first button is 3 seconds. The second is 5 seconds. The last one is 10 seconds. We can set these 3 buttons into a radio group. Next is the start and stop buttons. For the start button, we make this button switch flag on. And then, the stop button will switch the flag off. So, all this function will let the user to select the timer, and press the start button to start the countdown. Finally, when the time is up, we have to display the text label underneath. We want to show timeout and stop the timer. Here, we have a very convenient feature to achieve this. We go to Variable tab. This is another feature of variable function. We can trigger the action that we have set underneath, when the variable fulfill a condition. In other words, the variable itself will monitor for itself whether there is a change within this variable. If this condition is met, then you can perform the following actions. So, we are using variable if function. When the time is equal to 0, the text label will show timeout. Then, there are two things we need to do. The first one is to display timeout in the text label underneath. The second one is to make the timer stop. Let's adjust the order. When time is up, let the text label show timeout first. And then, close this timer. Now, everything is set. Next we will test all this function. In addition, in order to let us see the displayed status correctly, we need to add a clear text label command. So, on the buttons to increase the timer value, we add a clear text label command. The empty part is to keep the text blank. We do this for all three buttons. This is to let us know clearly when the timeout event is triggered. Now, let's actually test it. Here, you can choose how long the timer is. We choose 5 seconds. Then, press start to begin the countdown. Timeout will appear at 0 seconds. This is all the content of this unit. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lesson.